Okay. What's been your favourite moment in Scouting so far?
Favourite moment? Gosh, so many. Well, as my daughter in Scouting, seeing you start Cubs for the very first time and Piper starting Beavers for the very first time. On a kind of a group scale, well, there's got to be the first trip down to Brownsea Island. I think that will stick in a lot of people's memories. It was just everything came to on that particular camp. All the kids and all the leaders had an enjoyable time. The weather shone for us, which made it an awful lot better. And then more recently, going on the first jamboree to Essex Jamboree and learning. Yes, you're wearing the t-shirt. Learning about the Essex Jamboree and what kind of is involved in that. And hearing your stories from the 2012 Jamboree, and it just inspired me to go. And when county commissioner at the time said, Glenn Fendall, he said, only 12 went on 2012. It'll be a doddle. And then 120 put down. And we were the largest contingent other than Essex to go to that particular Jamboree.
3 sub-camps full.
And we're just little old East Lancashire. So that was a huge honour to be unit leader of that. Absolutely massive honour. And that will probably, even if I do international trips in the future, which I am this year, of course, going to Iceland. But I think that Essex Jamboree is probably going to be the pinnacle for me as it goes.
Good. What's it like to be part of this organisation? What makes it special?
It makes it special in so many ways. There's so many frustrations with it, and there's so many good things about it. The fantastic thing about it, which makes it special for me, is all the adults, whether you're at group, district or county, or even in some cases at region, we're all volunteers. And it's only when you get into the hierarchy of down at Gilwell that you get paid roles. So for me, it's everybody coming together on a volunteering basis. There isn't anything else like it in the country that can match that. So that's what's special for me in Scouting.
Yeah. What skills have you learnt in your time in Scouting?
From
when you were originally a Cub?
To be very patient is probably the first one. You have to be patient because, again, you're dealing with volunteers. You're not dealing with somebody you're paying a wage to. So it brings in a different set of skills for you. I've learned how to fillet fish. I've learned how to firelight. I only did Cubs when I was younger. Unfortunately, Scouts, when I was my age, wasn't on in Edgeworth. You had to travel into Bolton. And my mum and dad, tired after a day's work, didn't really want to travel. And Edgeworth, as you know, our little rural village, no buses in the week into Bolton. So Scouting stopped for me at the end of Cubs, and I was bitterly disappointed about it because I did enjoy it. And I managed to do quite a lot of the badges. There weren't as many badges in those days as there are now, of course. So there's just so many different skills from what you're teaching the kids on activities. One thing I've not managed to overcome yet is getting back in a kayak.
No. I know the feel.
After my traumatic time when I was a lot younger, kayaking isn't for me. I've
capsizing.
Yeah,
no thanks.
No. I have bad memories of rolling and cracking my head, so it's just I've never been able to get over that. I would love to get over it, and maybe one day I will. But I've been dragon boat racing. That's enjoyable. But yeah, I guess the standout one for me is the learning to bring in volunteers and have that set of skills to do that in a manager's role as a Group Scout leader or a growth and development commissioner. So for me, it's that set of skills rather than the activities set of skills.
Awesome.
Might have to come back to that one.
What is your leadership style? What would you say to a Cub Scout or even a Beaver who's just starting Scouts? How would you welcome them into a group? And
Well, we get them in the pack circle. If I use Cubs as an example, we get them in the pack circle and we ask them, do they recognise anybody in the circle? And you hope and pray that they pick somebody out. But regardless if they do or if they don't, we buddy them up with a sixer. And it's usually Max that's given this task in our group, because Max is one of these Cubs who's got all the badges and he attends everything, and he's really good. And we would buddy them up with Max and let the Cubs tell them about scouting and Cubs, what you do in Cubs, rather than a leader do it. And we take that forward going into the running of the packs. The leaders should really be taking almost a helicopter vision and letting the kids themselves run the pack nights, because that's what it's all about. That's why we've created it. So yes, I like to be fair but firm. I think that's probably a fair way of putting it.
okay. Do you think there's enough advertisement for Scouts?
Difficult one. On a national level, yes. Where the advertisements for scouting should be made is in your county. So if you take our county for East Lancashire, we're broken down then into a series of districts. And in each district there is a growth and development commissioner, and I look after that for Hyndburn. And it's the role of that growth and development team throughout the county to look after advertising and promoting scouting in that county. I think if scouting did something nationally, you tend to find it's more against it's more bringing into gender diversity and things like that on a big scale, where they leave the actual promotional stuff to the groups and the counties and the districts themselves, which I think is right, which is what we do in Hyndburn, I should say.
So you do think there's enough?
I think there is enough, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
In Hyndburn,
In your
yes.
district?
In our district, we do it, yes.
What's your opinion on girls being in Scouts? Do you have many in your troop or district?
I think girls in scouting is fantastic. I brought my daughters into scouting, so and it was at a time when our Group Scout leader was evidently against girls in scouting, and Nikki, our Cub leader at the time, and myself both brought daughters into the group, and we kind of said to the Group Scout leader, if you want us as leaders, you bring our daughters in. And that's we've never looked back from that. And shortly afterwards, it was announced nationally that it was going to be a national thing, bringing girls into scouting. So
Big moment.
it was a big moment in scouting, and a right moment. It should have been done earlier. Obviously, we've diversed even more from that now because we're doing transgender. We've opened up to Muslim faiths and Madras, and expanding out into those reaches as well now. But yes, to answer your question, we do have girls in our pack. We have one girl in Cubs, one girl in Beavers, two girls in Explorers, and we've just got one who's just joined Network, and they're all part of our group.
That's good then. Why do you think people should join Scouts?
Why do I think people should join Scouts? We're a movement. We're always evolving. We're bringing in new activities, new badges. So you can do 1 week rock climbing and firelighting. The following week you could be doing digital work, learning how to make apps on your phone. And I think that's the great thing about Scouting. We're so diverse in what we can offer. We don't all pretend to be experts in that, and it's up to the leaders of that particular group to look at bringing in different things. But we hope, we certainly hope and try that at our group, St Paul's, that just for the record, Jess has just brought us a ball.
The dog.
Lost my thread now. Yeah. Where was I?
Talk about how the movement has such a wide variety of different
Yes. So with our group, St Paul's, we have a wide. We like to try to offer that wide variety by bringing in other groups and experts. So we'll see how we go. But yes.
Okay. How do you think Scouting will look in the future, looking at Youth Shape and all the other things that have helped in the past?
Sorry, just say that one again.
How do you think Scouting will look in the future with Youth Shape and everything else?
Well, I think U-Shape will evolve again into something else. Obviously, the current brand that we're pushing at the moment is Skills for Life, because that's what we are offering. The Explorer Challenge badges now, the bronze, the silver, the platinum and the silver awards in Explorers have now been geared and matched to copy the bronze award for the Duke of Edinburgh, the silver award for Duke of Edinburgh. It's great that we can cover all boundaries as well, and link up into different badge works. So it just gives the youth a completely different outlook, and it sets them up for the jobs going forward. And you tend to find with people looking at CVs, as I have with work, you'll look to see if they've done scouting, because you know they've got something about them. There's that spark in the eye, and you tend to look at their CVs a little bit more.
Okay. What are you most looking forward to in the next coming year in Scouts?
We're going to Iceland in August. I'm really looking forward to that. It's been a long preparation, 2 years so far. So really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the Essex Jamboree as well next year. We've signed up for it again. So I'm looking forward to going back and seeing how that has changed and evolved in time. And we'll just see what the next road takes us. I'm Growth and Development Commissioner at the moment, but I'm open to look at any opportunities.
Give it a then. It'll be edited, so. Okay. Have you always been a scout, or did you decide just to become an adult leader?
No, I did Cubs at 36th Bolton, which obviously eventually evolved into First Turton, as you know. And that was in the early 80s. So my uniform was shorts, garters around the socks, green jumper.
I have a picture evidence for this.
Yes, there is picture evidence for this. Funnily enough, Grandma found it the other day. And the great thing about 36 Bolton, which became First Turton, it was a founding member group, so it had a solid colour necker, and ours was red. But when we became First Turton, they changed the necker to a 3-tier. And unfortunately, once you've changed, you can't change back. And I tried a few times to change it back. Yes, I did Cubs.
And Leslie, what would you say to adults to get them to volunteer? Why should they, and what can they do to help?
We're after people who are willing to offer either a little of time or a lot of time. You don't have to be an expert in the field of carving or bushcraft skills or canoeing. We aren't looking for those type of leaders, but if those type of leaders do come along, fantastic. Yes, we will take those in. In some cases, depending on the group, we are just looking for somebody who can turn up on the night and just be that extra set of eyes around the room, or an exec member who can only afford maybe a couple of hours a quarter, who could maybe be the chair, the secretary, or the treasurer. There's so many adult roles in scouting that there's opportunities for everybody. So it's it's what that individual has to offer.
Is that it? Okay, thank you.
Okay.